Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So, today I figured I'm going to show you that, well, let me start with this. In my most recent video, I showed where I put the borders down, and then I put my image on, and then I did the extra bordering around. And in this one, we're going to do it kind of backwards. Because, you know, you watch videos and people do things certain ways, and you think that's the only way that they can be done. However, it's not exactly how it is. What I mean by that is, when it comes to pages, I think of them as in I'm making, and this is going to sound weird, but I'm making a hamburger per se. My background is the bun, the bottom bun. My collage images are considered like the meat, and then the specific images that I want on top to really stand out are the top bun. Like if I have a picture of a real life person or something that I want to put in, you always want that to be on the top, in the foreground. So that would be, you know, the top bun. Now, if it's, say, a portrait and you want to put a birthday hat on, you can totally do that. Just stick it right on top of it or whatnot. I consider those to be like the sesame seeds, because I don't always have sesame seeds on my buns. But I just wanted to throw that out there, and honestly, I'm trying to take advantage of what free time I do have to try to make some more videos for you guys and hopefully give you some inspiration for doing your own day-by-days, and maybe get you motivated to start doing it if you haven't done it yet, because it's fun. It's actually really good for your mind, you know. And we'll get to that on how there's times that I'll take a page and I'll write the things that are on my mind that's really weighing me down, or something that's just really upset me, and then I'll completely cover it over. Whether I use a black paint or I use whatnot, I'll completely cover it over, so that way no one can ever read it again, but I've gotten it off of my chest and out there, you know? So, for the sake of a little bit of speed today, because my last video was like 40 minutes long, I went ahead and colored in some of the images that I chose. And then, because I do this so much, like every day I have an idea of what I want it to look like already. And I know specific images that I want to use, so I can just go straight to them. What I'm doing for this particular one is I'm going back to the border pages that we made together. Let me move my book over for a minute. And what I've done, this is what it looked like. And all I did was I took my journal block, I drew a line just above here, straight across, and then I cut it, so that way I would still be able to have this and this to use together. Otherwise, if I would have cut it down the middle, this would have been too small to actually go with that. It would have looked kind of weird. And then I took my scissors and I cut just the pink part out here, and that left me this and this, which these are going to be my top and my bottom borders. So we'll set those aside. And then this was what was left over, so I just cut it in half, and I am actually going to use them for petals, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's move this aside. Now, say on this page, we put these down first, and then I doodled in all of this. For this one, I'm going to do the doodling in first because I want them to be further in the background. And that shouldn't take too terribly long because it's just going to be a simple little doodle. All I'm going to do is, and I'm sorry, I have to turn my book, guys. I'm going to create me a straight line here. And because I don't have my borders up here or nothing else, I don't have to worry about going over. Do the same thing on this side. Make it roughly the same size. And the easiest way for me to do that is I use these lines here as a guide. There we go. Oh, well, it didn't exactly go all the way down. I guess my ink wasn't flowing properly. There we go. And now I have those. I'm simply just going to go in and do a pretty tight knit zigzag all the way down. What I mean by that is this right here. Very sloppy, very messy, not even, just whimsical per se. It almost does look super messy, but with this being the very back of the book, it makes it hard to do it. Just like that. I hope you can see. Now we're going to do this side. So remember, my background was the bottom of my bun. What I'm doing now would be, you know, like a lettuce or a ketchup or whatever you have on your hamburgers. And because I'm using these for top and bottom, I don't need to put anything up there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, because again before, I had put my borders on and then I took my images and put them right up to the top. With this, I'm going to put my images down first. So, let me kind of lay this one out really quick to give you a general idea of what I'm talking about. And then, which all of these images that I'm using are from her, the Delusions, I think it's Three Little Maids stamp set. And I also left one uncolored so that way I can show you how I color them really quickly. I mean, it's all a mindless process. I've got my lovely little array over here. So for the stem, which I could have, I guess, used one of my border pages for it. I just go in there and very, very messily color it in. Then I take my darker green that I do my shadowing with, which this one here is actually Mushy Peas. I usually use Dirty Martini, but this is what I grabbed, so apparently this is what it wanted to be. There we go. Okay, so there's that one. And then we're going to move over to the leaf. And I'm just going to go around the dots here. I could go over them, but I don't want to. And then I'm taking my darker color and coloring in the dots. Usually you want to allow the other color to dry first, but if it blends, it doesn't bother me none, because that will give me the shading that I want in here. Okay. Move this aside. And then I am going to take the desert sand and give myself a little bit of shading around the top here and just a tiny bit on the bottom, just like so. Looks like I missed a spot, so we'll cover that in really quick. All right, that one's done. And now to this image. I am going to take, I want to do green around her little polka dots here, like so. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you go over a little bit, it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm gonna let that green dry up a bit because I don't want this particular color to bleed. So I'll go ahead and I'll move up here to her collar, where I am actually going to make it yellow and green. So the inside is going to be yellow. Really quick. And the outside will be the fresh lime. Like so. There we go. Alright, that should be dry enough that I can go in and do the dots in blue now. Just like that. I chose to use cool colors for the images because my background is mostly warm colors and I want it to pop. And down here I'm just going to make that blue. And then the very bottom will be green. And the flower, I think, I want the very center to be blue. And then her eyes can be blue. And then I'm going to take the yellow and kind of do the same as I did down here. So for the most part, the flower is going to be yellow. And then I'll just blend in some of the green. Just around the center. And the outside. Like so. It's not going to be perfect. There we go. Now for the hair, I'm going to use the bubblegum pink. I normally would not mix the warms and the cools, but I just wanted to do it for these. Okay. Take my cherry pie and I'm just going to go along the outside here and over all these little squiggly lines. So it's actually going to look more red than pink. Give that a minute and I'll take the desert sand and this is going to darken up that cherry pie a bit in places. Go up and here. There we go. And the eyebrows. We're going to do essentially the same thing. Except we're not going to put the pink on. We're just going to go with cherry pie and desert sand. Now, because these are so bright and I want to use these for like little leaves or petals or whatnot, I'm just going to take the cherry pie and probably the desert sand. Oh, what else I did was, because I don't make these in the 4, I took my pencil and I just drew leaves, so that'll make it 2. However, while it's all in one, it'll save you much more time this way. I'm going to go ahead and color in to like darken them up a bit. Just around the outline, and I'm making the shape of a little leaf or petal or whatnot. Take the bubblegum pink over it. I probably should have laid it down first, but it's alright. Like so. I'm going to go ahead and do this one really quick. We're going to do the same thing. I'm essentially just making little leaf shapes so I can get 2 out of 1. There we go. And this one should be dry enough that I can just go in and darken in some areas. There's that one. And then we're going to go down this way. There we are. And see, they just look like that. Take my scissors. And to make it easier on me, I've already put the double-sided tape on the back. And I'll just cut around where I drew my line originally. And I'll kind of curve that a little bit. And there we go. I've got 2 little petal shapes, which is fine. They're not perfect, but they are what they are. Okay. Now, let's start layering these pieces on. For these, I didn't put any double-sided tape on like I normally do because they're going to be held down by the bodies and the border piece. So, let's get this layout the way that I want it. And then I want these just sticking out down here at the bottom every which way. Doesn't really matter. However, I do have to decide, do I want them underneath or above? More than likely under. I think that's probably the only way I'm going to get it to look right. Or look the way I want it to. Yeah, and then we'll pop these little guys on top. Okay, so, well, this one I know where it goes. I'm going to go ahead and put it on. Grab my glue stick. Give it a good gluing. And we'll put it in the corner here where I want it. Just like so. Okay. Now, just gonna start pulling things from underneath and sticking them back down. Okay. See, for this particular day, my middle little went to work with me. So that's what this is representing, is me and her working together. And in case you're wondering what my littles means, that's what I call my children. Okay. And see the fact that it hangs down here? It's not even going to matter because my border's going to cover it. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, with this piece, like I said, I don't have no double-sided tape on, but I don't need to because it is going to be held down at both the top and the bottom points. So, that's on top. And because I'm not wiping my mat as much, I'm kind of moving my stuff over a bit. Alright, this one I kind of want it to go that way. Okay. Put this one down because I want it underneath. Yep. And I don't know why I taped it like this. It was kind of odd. Okay, after this I'll probably have to wipe my desk. Alright. Kind of get the extra glue off the sides as best as I can. Hand this down to me. And stick it down. Just give it a good press. Okay, put this one on. So how are you all doing today? Hopefully you had a great day. It was a little bit warmer today than it has been, so that was nice. Okay. All right. All right. Right there. See, I love having the little windows because you can see part of the elephant, and then when this page is over, you'll be able to see the two little faces sticking through. All right, now let's put our little leaves on, and then we will go in. I'll go ahead and take this one off really quick. Put the top and the bottom borders on, and then it's all about outlining. Color that in and go in and write, do whatever you want to do to it. Make it be what you want it to be. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna wipe my desk up really fast though, because that glue is starting to stack up and it's bugging me. Okay. That doesn't look like it's got glue on, so we're just going to stick it back. Okay. Now, do my bottom border. I wanted this on the top because if you look, I put I love you to the moon and back on. So I want to make that a complete little bottom border here. And again, fold it in half because we don't want it going over the bend. And we're going to give it a snip. I'll do the same thing with the top really quick too. And if you fold it perfectly in half, it'll line up perfectly for you. And then cut that one. And cut that one. Peel my back off. Same thing. All right. Get my glue on. And because this one here is going to go over multiple layers, I'm making sure I put plenty of glue and plenty of my double-sided tape on. Move that aside. Just like so. I gotta give that a good press. Okay, and one more. There we go. And again, you can see that, but we can just go in there with the colors and fill it in and it really won't stand out as much. All right, let's do the top. Wipe this off because that one had a lot on it. Wow. There we go. I've done this so much that I usually do this just this quickly. And like I said, with each day I have an idea of what I want it to look like and what I want to do with it. Yes, a lot of them are similar because repetition is easy, and honestly I like it. I like the way that it ends up looking. So if it's something that I enjoy, I'm going to continue to do it. Alright. Now for this. Okay. This one goes, let me turn my book this way. Make my life a little bit easier. It goes here. Like that. I'll put a little bit more glue on here. I don't know why I went ahead and glued it. And then this one goes here. The less thinking that you have to do on a page, the more likely you're going to do them. And that's what we say. Besides that, you work faster, and then you have really no excuse for not doing one. Alright, close my glue stick up so it doesn't get yucky. And get all this white stuff off, the trash off my desk. And what I'm going to do, just to give it a good press in, because yeah, it works that way, but I'll also close my book and kind of do this. There we go. I'm going to take my Posca pen and start outlining everything. I'll just start in random spots, it won't even matter. Things that overlap, you want to outline them as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think that's everything there. I'll go over here and do the same thing. This is literally the last day of the month. Go around these. And do this bottom piece here. Close that up. Pick the color I want on the outside, and I actually think I'm going to go for well, let's just do cherry pie. All I do, go in and cover it up, just like so. There's that one, and then this one. To make this window pop out more, I'm going to come down a little bit, outline it like this. Oops, that's still kind of wet. Very, very messily do it like this. And this same doodling, I'm just going to do inside of here. Just like so. Very messy, very quick. But it will not stand out once it's all said and done. Always turn your book to make your life easier. Don't try twisting your hands around in weird ways, because that'll just hurt you. Let that dry, and then I'll take the cherry pie in there. And then let me make sure I've went over everything. I need to snip this off, so if there's anything hanging over the edge, just take your scissors, because otherwise it'll just tear your book all to crap, and snip it off right around the page, like that. that, and then same thing with the back of the book. Right there and right there. Alright. Give that a few more minutes to dry while I pick this up. Now, the only thing left to do is down here is where I'll have writing room. And what I'll go ahead and do is pop on a date. And I think I'm just going to put it over here. So it's February 28th, just like this. There we go. Now let's see if my thing is in. Oh, it's, if I do it lightly, it won't smear it as bad. Sometimes when the Posca pen is new, it kind of smeared, or not new, sorry, not completely cured. It'll kind of smear it and make it look dirty and mucky, but it's not too bad right now. You really should give it a bit more time. Okay. Okay, and then whenever I do my letters, I always go in the closed areas and just fill them in. All right, and that is that. That is my final page of the day, and that is just another way that you can do them. You don't always have to start with your borders. You can go in and do your doodling and then add to it. I'm going to end it here. So I hope you found it informative. I hope it helped you in some way. And I thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.